So, welcome to our second session of slapping the ABCs here at Athlete Development Center. My name is Jimmy Mullis. I'm a trainer here at the facility. My guest today is Kyye Ricks. Kye's been with me probably almost a year now, give or take, and I got her then a couple of months ago and just really pushed her to become the slapper that she is now. We kind of introduced her to some power, and she really kind of caught on to that and has really blossomed into the slapper that she is now, but we continue to work. Kye's got some accolades that she's already accomplished in the high school level and at the national level. I'll let Kyye tell you about those things because there are her accomplishments. Kyye Ricks, you got the table.
I'm nationally ranked number 31 on the top 100 list. I'm ranked number 5 in the nationally ranked thing for outfield. And for high school ball, I got Golden Glove, varsity MVP, and offensive award.
Awesome deal. So Kye's got a lot of things it's going for, but what we always strive for is getting better, 1% better every week we work. So that relationship between she and I has grown as we've pushed each other in sessions to where we want to get better. Kyye comes in every week and wants to go to work. So I wanted to bring Kyye in today, kind of introduce you to her. We had Amari Braden on last week. Hey Mari, hope you're out there. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to kind of go over what we worked on last week and talked about, and then we're going to add a little bit to it. But what I want you to understand today is that we work on a cone system here just for accountability for the slappers and also a reminder. So if we can create good muscle memory through our footwork, timing, and bad angles, then we're going to be more successful at what we're doing. And that's what our biggest task is making sure that our slappers understand that footwork is very important. And if they don't get the footwork down, they're going to be inconsistent. And they understand that because they're being accountable every week when they come in. They all know how to put the cone system together. They all understand it. They all put forth effort to make sure they understand it. So it just works for us. But I also want to add too that the ABCs of slapping are just the basic fundamentals. Like anything, like blast motion works off three parameters. It's like barrel, like plane, connection, and rotation. We all work off of some sort of system so that we're accountable and we can keep up with what we're doing, okay? So what I'm gonna do, Kyye and I are gonna move our stools out, and we're gonna go into a basic position as a slapper. Slappers, again, I wanna keep saying this because this is important. The ABCs of it, and then you put your own personal touch on your slapping, okay? Because every slapper that walks in this door, they have a little something different they like to do. They're either good at it, or they want to perfect it, or that's just what they lean on. But what I force them to be is three-dimensional: slap, drag, and hit for power. If I can spread them out and hit for power, then that gives the defense a little more guessing to the game, and they back off, and then that's when we drop it. So it's a guessing game. But our slappers also learn to read the defenses so they know where they're hitting it, so they're just not relying on their speed. Speed eventually will catch up to you, okay? So Kyye and I are gonna move our chairs out. We're gonna come back in, and Kye's gonna get into what we call her regular position, because what we work on is I can hit, drag, and slap from this position right here, because what if I'm moving up and down in the box? What's that tell the corners over there? It lets the corners know Kye's either going to drag or slap. All right. So when we work on our drag motion, we don't use a slide step. All right. And here's the reason why we don't use a slide step, because then that indicates we're slapping or dragging. So it indicates to the third baseman and the shortstop. But if we do a dead stop step through and just time it off our barrel, then we're going to keep that corner back off of us a little bit. So Kye's going to kind of just walk through her no slide drag and get to one location. Good, there, and then she's gonna push through, and I'll take the barrel, you roll out, go out, move out, your body, take off, let go of the bat, and go out. Yes, there you go, just like that. So we're creating those angles and then getting off of it. So if you can see the cone section up here up front, and we'll go back over in a second. I just want to kind of really show you a couple of things that Kye's doing. Is our cone section forces us to turn to the first base line, because what I'm seeing a lot of slappers do is continue through that line there and giving up foot direction. I want to get on to contact and I want to get off of it as quickly as I can so I can get down that line. All right, so now I'm going to back up a little bit and I'm going to explain and show you again what our cone system's for. These back two cones right here are basically for you to use to come up with what your slide step or no slide step is going to be. Now again, we've got slappers that don't slide step. Some rotate and plant and go. Some slide, some don't. But what we're not doing is we're not taking our front foot and going all the way back. Take that back, huh? Take it all the way back. Good, now freeze there. Now try to get all the way front side now. We don't do that, do we? So when we don't get out in the front of the box, look at the angles that we're missing. We're missing angles, and Kyye is actually in foul territory, isn't she? All right, so now come back, Kyye, rewind, and slide step. You're normal, and then get to the front of the box. Now, look where we are. We're in fair territory on anything we're touching. Therefore, giving us more percentages of being able to put the ball down, okay? So rewind back. So those are the first two cones. And now obviously the front cone up here, she'll land out front, is our front cone responsibility landing area. That's the front of the box, and we're trying to make sure that we're putting that ball down and we're maximizing our body to the front of the box, all right? So we would run back. So the rest of these cones basically identify her running lane, her work area, all right? So we like to shrink the box a little bit on the back side just for our slappers to get used to working in small spaces, because you know the rule came out of the lines, all right? So didn't slow us down. We were already ahead of it, so we just started shrinking the box a little more so we work in smaller spaces. These two cones here are called our directional cones, all right? So Kye's gonna come in, she's gonna land, right? So then she's gonna go to one cone, which represents the 5-6 hole, okay? Rewind, and then she's gonna go to the two cone. That represents middle ball, okay? So when the shortstop moves over to the shortstop position, we're normally gonna just square up right here on the two cone, hit it down and through, all right? Rewind back, all the way back through. So then we're gonna go to one here on the drag. That puts us on the third base line, okay? Back. And then we're gonna slap in the 5-6-1, what we call a 5-6-1. That's the 5-6 hole. We just call it a one cone, just so when we're giving voice commands, when we're repping, she understands where we're going and she executes that position. Goes back. And then we're gonna go to 5-6-2. This is a middle ball, blowing the ball back up the middle through the zone, okay? Now, Kye's using a hand load, and I've got some questions about that from other slappers. We're not asking you to load your arms up, we're just asking you to load your barrel up. Just like when you swing away, it's really what we're doing. We're just running through a ball and swinging away when we're power slapping now. Remember, we're talking about power slapping. We're not talking about soft slaps. We're talking about power slapping. So our hand's gonna load up a little more to maximize that barrel speed through the ball, all right? So, we're gonna rewind now, and I'm gonna bring in the pad, all right? So this pad is just here because we've got video equipment in front of us. So this pad is just here for Kyye to barrel up to, all right? And on the back side of this pad, we have 3 locations marked with tape that I want her to hit. So I'll go 5-6-1 up in the zone, she'll hit top. If I go 5-6-1 down, the ball's down in the zone, she'll hit the bottom tape. All right, here we go. She's gonna run through a couple, just go slow through it first. She's gonna run through a couple, 5-6-1 top, good. Back. She's gonna go 5-6-2 bottom, good. Here we go. Back. 5-6-1-2, good. Here you go again. And 5-6-1, good. Coming back, now she's gonna speed up a little bit and hear the pop of it. We're working on pushing through that line, okay? Here we go. Ready? Slide step, push through the line. Slide step, push through the line. There you go, good. So you notice her right foot, as she makes contact, she drives through, her right foot comes out. All right, so we're not continuing stepping over, we're already into a hip rotation to turn. All right, so now, one of the major components in that is making sure that her front side shoulder starts on the 5-6 and works to location. All right, because we're starting in the middle of the field and then we open up. Where do you think we're gonna hit that ball mostly, Kyye? 3-4 hole, don't we? We don't like hitting it 3-4 hole. Second baseman loves us though when we do that. So what we want to make sure of is we start on our 5-6-1, which would be our 5-6 hole, and then we continue to move through that ball, okay? Here we go. So now she's gonna go 5-6-1, top, Good. And make sure you're planning, we're not coming off of that. Hey, you won't hurt this. Go ahead and power. Let's go. 5, 6, 1, power. There you go. There's the power we're talking about. So now, when we land, get back out here and let's land and let's talk mechanics now. See her coiled up here? And now she's gonna take her left hip and push into that ball. Push. There you go. Thighs down and push. Good. So last week, Mari and I did the knee drill, so we're gonna go down knee. Knee down. Up slightly. And then push off from there. Push. There you go. See how more powerful and more control her body is? That's what we're working off of. 2, go. Good. Here we go. Bottom, push. Good. And bottom, push. That's a ball down, and Kye's above it, working down to it, lining it off, or hitting it on the ground. Top, square. So she goes right off the top of her shoulder here, because this is the top of her strike zone, and she's taking her top hand to that location. Square 1 up top. Good. Rewind out. Good job. So now we're going to come in and we're going to work on middle ball a little bit. All right. So Kye's going to come in. She's going to land. We're going to do the same thing with our knee down up. Now, why do we do this? To reinforce a more powerful lower body and more controlled movements, because then we're not asking our hands to do all the work. Some slappers tend to like to tiptoe through the zone and then just kind of try to do it with their arms. I see that there's a lot of slappers that do that, but we also see that they're also not very consistent getting the ball off the infield. All right, as you play more and more competitively, you've got to start hitting that ball harder and off the infield. All right, or be able to place the ball perfectly somewhere on the infield. With the speed Kye's got, she's got all those options. But what if she's only one-dimensional? And Kyye puts the ball down, and every defense she plays, they go, Kyye only puts the ball down. She's only got a short game. So then they tend to crash on her and sit on her. All right, so now she's developed a three-dimensional approach. So then when she feels that defense creeping in and that outfield starting to creep in, she starts launching those balls in those gaps. All right, so go back, and we're gonna go 5, 6, 1, 5, 6, 2, left gap. Here we go. Top. Go. Good. She knows exactly where we're going, and she's looking for that pitch. All right, so then the questions are always asked, well, how do you adjust to the pitch? Well, then less than 2 strikes, and it's not where you can handle it, you run through it, because then it's a strike. If you attack it, and it's not doable for you, it's probably going to be an out. So we stay away from that. So less than 2 strikes, we're looking for a pitch that we can handle where we think we're going, okay? All right, go back again. 5, 6, 2, bottom. Good. She keeps moving through the ball. Good job. 5, 6, 2, top. Move through the ball. Land. Good. She's driving the ball now. Good job. Here we go. Ready? And 5, 6, 1, top. Good job. All right, good. So we've gone through what we talked about last week and kind of reviewed it in some ways. So now we want to make sure that our footwork, we're going to go through our footwork again and make sure that everybody understands what we're working on. This is our second week into this, so we should start getting some questions more and more about it. And I have here lately. Get set with your footwork. So Kyye likes to do what she wants to do with her slide step. It's her timing. I want every slapper to have a comfort level that they understand, that they can feel good about, instead of being cookie cut into having to use the same footwork and it may not work for you. All right, so we're open to that. Well, what we're making sure of is that we've got the ABCs of slapping down. So the ABCs are footwork, timing, and barrel angle. All right, so footwork is what it is. Timing is based off the footwork on time to the pitcher's time. And then barrel angles are our 1 and 2 cone out here. All right, so there's basically how we work every week. All right, now we'll add some short game stuff. We're working on chops with a lot of these athletes. We're working on a push and all of those things. But what we're more than likely going to spend more time on is getting them to swing away. All right, so let's talk about the swing away now with our slappers. All right, so for a slapper, most slappers tend to be handsy just because they're used to running through a ball and placing it somewhere. So when we spread them out, I find training them is that they still tend to use those same characteristics. It's just wanting to throw their hands at it. So I introduce them to their lower body. So Kye's going to go down, pass parallel, go, 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 go. She's going to hop out of it, hop, leave the ground, yep, and then flex again. So before we even swing the bat, I'm going to get her in her lower body to where she's really flexed. And more than likely, we're going to spend a lot of time in extreme training of that so that she gets more feel for it. Because what I find is when athletes flex, they flex and then they come right back up, standing up. Slappers do anyway. So what I'm working on is really pushing them to get that, what we call an athletic position for balance, all right? So if I'm balanced, I'm gonna be more apt to be able to drive that ball, all right? So Kye's gonna tap for timing, and she's gonna get to objective, rotate, firm, good. So see her head barrel, see where she's at here, her head square, shoulder and hip line are in connection, and her front thigh is square, all right? She's gonna rewind to that, and objective again, tap and turn, good. So what we're creating is we're creating space on the back side for her to get her barrel on line, on the back side of the swing, and then stay through that line 3 clicks, all right? So she's gonna go back, and she's gonna come to 1 click here, get on line, good. 1, 2, 3, and then she finishes back shoulder. So then the barrel exits her right side, and then she pulls up to take off, right? Because we become a base runner when we make contact with the ball. So go again, we're gonna go 3 clicks, square 1, 2, 3, finish, all the way through that ball. So we're trying to stay on that bat path, that ball path, for as long as we can, with our shoulders up and our bodies rotating. We're rotating through that ball to create hip torque and extension through the ball, all right? So Kye's gonna go again. She's gonna go 3 clicks, 1, 2, 3, finish, good. So we're barreling that ball up, so now our slappers are starting to see those 62 to 68 mile an hour balls off our swingaways, which that's what we're looking for, all right? So now, when we put those 2 together, or those 3 together actually, short game, slapping, and power, swinging, we tend to become a little more able to adjust to whatever's going on. Because you slappers know, some weekends, one of those 3 aren't working for you, or they're shutting them down, all right? So if that happens, we've got 2 other options we can use, because if we do it any other way, if we're only one-dimensional, then that gets shut down. What do we got? We don't really have anything, do we? So we're really pushing our athletes, our slappers, to get 3-dimensional, all right? Any questions from our group?
Hey Jim, Jim, can you hear me? This is Greg.
Hey man, how are you, Greg?
Good. Megan's, she'll be coming here in a minute, probably trying to finish up a test.
Yeah.
When we did our lesson yesterday, you wanted Rachel to have 2 hands on the bat.
Yeah.
Right, the full swing. Is that just because when I forgot to ask about this yesterday? Is that because you're thinking that like maintain 2 hands to have more power all the way through the ball?
More barrel control. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, more barrel control. And then, you know, once you get to here, if you want to take it off, that's fine. But if athletes shows me that they can't consistently keep their hands on the barrel, then I just eliminate it by saying just keep your hands on the barrel. You know, if it feels good to you to release it after contact about like almost a 3, because you've made contact at 2, and you're at 3, I don't see a reason why you couldn't release the barrel.
Okay.
My problem with it was yesterday was that she was releasing the barrel at 1, and then bottom handing swinging. Okay.
Okay.
So that's why we kind of do that. And again, like the slapping, swinging away is more of their own little thing, as long as we have those basic fundamentals. You know, balance. You know, we're gonna barrel if she can control the barrel. You know, connection as she's squaring the ball up, and then her rotation through the ball. Okay. Anybody else have anything today? No, we got quiet folks, huh?
No, I'm just absorbing everything. Every time I watch this, it ingrains it more on my.
Oh yeah, well that's why we do it like on a weekly basis right now, because I know I've got a lot of new slappers, whether it be out of state or in state, and I want to make sure that they're getting this information, because if they can get these 3 ideas right here, footwork, timing, and barrel angles, and then build it like Kyye and Amari and all these other slappers, KK Johnson, all those kids that come through here, they're all working on the 3 ABCs, and then they're putting their signature on it, all right? So if you can see improvements, like I've seen improvements in Megan, I mean, her swing away is her bat speed's increased quite a bit. So I was glad to see that. Now we're gonna start working really hard on transferring that into our slap as well. So then we'll be ready to go really soon. Let's see, anything else that we didn't cover? Anybody got anything for Kyye? Got a question for Kyye?
Well, yeah, I do. How do you handle like if somebody throws you like an off-speed pitch early in the count,
I try.
I mean, do you have a I'm sorry, go ahead.
I try and slow my feet work down a little bit.
Okay.
So what we're doing too, though, is early in the count, and we don't swing it change ups early in the count. What we're working off of is we're looking for a pitch. We lay off what we call change up movements. Slappers, if they have to hit it, I want them to foul it off with 2 strikes. And she knows that, along with all the other slappers. They understand that. Hey, listen, I'm looking for a pitch. Change ups, if you know it's coming, and I'll even tell them it's coming, and even swing away hitters have a hard time with it. So I want to lay off of it early in the count, and then have to deal with it later on by fouling it off or knowing it's coming. And then, like she said, slow her footwork down. It's all timing. So that's the second part of our ABCs, is the timing aspect of that. Because listen, slappers can't just run through a ball and then make adjustments. Because if they do, they're very inconsistent and they'll hit 9.
Okay.
The slappers that are consistent and understand the footwork and the timing of it are going to be more consistently putting the ball in play and placing the ball because they've got more control of their bodies. So that's why we kind of come up with that system there. And then the cone system kind of fell in place when I started trying to put this system together. So it really just helps them understand that. Now again, we go back to the timing aspect of it. The timing is based on what the pitcher's doing. And when she comes out and that ball's not there, then that indicates to her it's an off-speed pitch.
Okay.
Okay, anybody got anything else?
Yeah, I guess I got one other question. Sometimes we'll see pitchers that they'll just go consistently like inside on like Megan.
Yeah.
And so they'll throw maybe like a screwball that kind of goes in on the hands, or maybe like a drop ball or something like low and inside. So that's hard. How do you train for that? Because that like the 5.61 and the 5.62 cones.
It goes away.
Are,
So here's what we do then, Greg. What we do is if they're throwing us inside and they're consistently throwing us inside, we spread out and swing away.
okay.
We're working with the kids that walk in here. We're working. I consistently throw them inside, and they foul it off, and then when that pitcher makes a mistake or doesn't make a mistake, and she's able to square it up, we work on that. Because here's the thing, and I'm glad you brought that up. What's being called right now, and all you slappers are going to start nodding your head, and here's how we defend that. I say we do. So this pitch right here, that blue cone out here, is representing a strike. All right. Now, is that a strike? No. But now they're calling that out there. All right. So then they get that pitch, or if we foul that pitch off, then we know as a slapper they're going to come inside because you just spoiled what she thought she was going to ring you up on. And slappers can probably say, yeah, I've gotten rung up on that. Kye's done it. A lot of them have done it. But what we've decided to do, and is put this thought in their head, hey, listen, once you get that pitch out there and you foul it off in an 0-2 count, then we're going to look for an inside pitch. Guess what the elbow guard's for?
Okay.
See what I mean? The elbow guard, we're gonna get on that plate, and we're gonna either take it off our elbow or we're gonna be able to turn on it if she makes a mistake. That's the only way that we've been able to defend that. I say defend. Offensively execute.
Okay.
Okay? All right, gang. What else we got? Nobody's got anything? I'm dying for somebody to ask Kyye another question. Nope. All right. Well, listen. That concludes our session for today. I appreciate you guys coming and tuning in with us. I'll have this, I'm videoing it now, so if any of you out there, you know somebody that didn't get a chance to see it today, just reach out to me and I'll send you a copy of it, okay? It's great seeing you. Thank you, Kyye.
I think I got in a little bit late. I got in like a little bit late, so if you could.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, Greg. Thank you, man. Thanks, Kyye. See you soon, gang. Bye now.
Thanks.